can't accuse me of being late tonight. Oh, membership thing didn't work. Well, that's clearly broken. Because that's the old one. Refresh connection. Oh, it's broken.
We're not shocked.
So when I end the goal on Streamlabs in front of me, it disappears off my screen, which would indicate I'm ending the correct thing.
Right.
When I then restart the goal with the new title, new date, new target, it just brings up the one that I've used ages ago. Like, this isn't even the one I used like last Wednesday. This Wednesday just gone. This is the one I used ages ago that says, is it fixed now? Evidently not. So the membership goal's broken, team. There you go. That's a good start tonight. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Friday evening, and it is fine. The weather has been glorious today. I hope you are having a great week. Hope you are ready to enjoy the final show of the week, wind down for the weekend, get ready for a chill hobby weekend, hopefully, for you wonderful people. I'm still going to keep trying and rebooting it, but it's got even worse. Okay, good. So that's... What if I was to do that, and then do that, and then do that, and then do that?
Ian and
That
CJ
changes.
are being so good by testing the membership scale because they're gifting, which is so kind of you.
It's not
to
going up
test
either.
it.
It's just staying the same now. It's literally doing nothing. End. Goes away. Start. Doesn't reset. I think we don't have a membership goal tracker tonight. I think I have to get back on the old emails to Streamlabs. Fucked. Utterly fucked.
In through the nose.
Breathe. Ian and CJ, thank you for the
Out
gifted
through
memberships, you wonderful human beings. Thank you so much for coming back, you legends, and hanging out for one more night. Evan, thank you for the one gifted. I'm going to have to tell you how much there are, right? You have to believe me. Today I asked the question, and what the membership... The reason why I noticed the membership goal immediately is because what the membership goal says is this big. Because the question I asked, Luce, is how big can it actually get?
What is it?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Scooter, thank you for 5 gifteds. Evan, thank you for 1 more. So, we spent the day today at Warner Brothers Studios London, which is the home, essentially, of Harry Potter World. It was my birthday treat out because essentially, my birthday is a day where we can't really do anything.
Being a Christmas Eve baby is actually very tricky to try and do anything because everything's covered in Christmas stuff when it's your birthday, and everyone you want to spend the day with is already busy.
You don't want to be outside anywhere because it's a bit shit. Oh, that's working at least, thanks.
There is irony in that the bar it titled Is It Fixed Now?
Which is also a title we haven't used for over a week, Tony. Thank you for the $10. So we went to Harry Potter World today, right? And we went and spent the day there for my birthday. So I don't like to do things around December time. Everyone's busy with families and friends and what have you, and the weather's a bit shit and blah, blah, blah. So we decided to, I decided I wanted to go to this place, and I booked it in December, and the best time for us, which was also the earliest time we could book, that was also the best time for us, happened to be today. So what we did is we booked it, and we took the kids up to Warner Brothers Studios in London today and did the Harry Potter experience. Now, I have done it once before. And I did it once before I'd actually ever seen anything but the first film. I'd only ever seen the first film at that point. So much of it was lost on me, and so much of it was settings I didn't really know. But I was fascinated about seeing all the kind of behind the scenes in production and what have you, and how much effort goes into making it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought that was very, very interesting. After doing the studio tour back then...
Tweeting the twins to sleep watching you. They are saying hi to the screen, so please say hi back. In Romanian it is Bună Vlad and Mania.
Bună Vlad and Mania.
Hello.
Hello. Did I say that right? I feel like I said that right.
You got it. Have you done the funny voices?
I said
Adrian,
it the exact same way
time?
I said it the exact same way that Brian said it.
Yeah.
So.
You got to do the funny voices. Don't even bother with story time if you're not going to do the funny voices.
Thank you so much, Adrian, for the 25, and thank you, Tony, for the 10. Going in there and looking at all the old production stuff was fucking incredible, right? It was really, really good. But I had no context to the films because I hadn't seen them. Having done the studio tour last year, I then came home and over the course of a few months, I actually watched all of the films. All the way through, the whole series. Apart from, I haven't watched the Fantastic Beasts stuff yet. I have watched all the Harry Potter films all the way through. And actually, if you can get over the fucking dreadful acting that occurs in most of them, actually the films are all right. They're not too bad. They do get significantly better towards the end. And for me personally, when they get darker and more evil and a bit more sadistic, I thought they were better films. But I did enjoy it. So I wanted to go back again with a bit more context behind those films. And that's what we did today. That's why we went. And if you look at the thumbnail for this particular video, there was a point in which towards the end of the tour, you walk into a giant room, and in that giant room is a scale model of Hogwarts, the castle. And the second I walk in that room, it's the second time this has happened, the second time I walk in that room, I immediately think of Warhammer World.
Yes.
I immediately think of Warhammer World.
Yes.
Because in Warhammer World, if you go and do the exhibition, when you get towards the end of the exhibition, you walk into a room, a giant room, and you're up high, and they have built this incredibly huge diorama of a chaos assault on an imperial palace. It's fucking incredible. And that was the first time I'd ever seen that kind of diorama. So Hogwarts may have done it first, I don't know. But that was the first time I'd seen it. So whenever I go and look at this giant scale Hogwarts thing, I am instantly like, reminds me of Warhammer World. Apart from, it is significantly bigger.
Yeah.
It is significantly more detailed. It is significantly better done as a scale model. But that's because this thing that they're showcasing at Warner Brothers Studios is literally been used in the films.
Yeah.
They literally, it's like if you've ever seen the behind the scenes for Lord of the Rings on the extended edition DVDs or whatever, they show you that they build scale models and they use cameras on scale models and they make it into the motion picture. And you're like, wait, that wasn't fucking real? They made them, that's a model that I'm looking at? It's the same sort of thing, right? And it's incredible. It's fucking amazing. It is huge. Warner Brothers Studios as a tour is in fact huge. They have put so many of the sets that they use throughout the films in this place. And it got me thinking. Warhammer Games Workshop have signed a deal with Amazon to bring TV and film to the Warhammer universe to the Amazon TV platform.
Yeah.
Right. Warhammer as a franchise, as a concept, has been growing repeatedly over the course of the last decade plus. Right. If we think about it, it really started to explode after 7th edition. It's got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now with the announcement of Amazon, it's getting bigger and bigger again. If you were to take Warhammer World, you could probably fit Warhammer World in one of the main halls for Warner Brothers Studios. Probably. Because Warner Brothers Studios is fucking huge, because Harry Potter, right? And I wonder, and the question I have for you is, how big do we think Warhammer can actually get? So I put it as a little bit of a double entendre as a title, of course. But that's a legit question, because are we ever going to be able to walk in? Like, if you think about Warner Brothers Studios, are we ever going to walk into a set like that at some kind of Warhammer-based venue and be like, this was a scale model that was used in the 40K film, for example? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I was reading some details today, and there's some incredible details. Number of staff that works on the project. They made 588 sets throughout the films that they filmed things on. 588 sets.
What happens to the sets that aren't required for like an attraction?
We'll just get scrapped, I guess.
What a shame.
Yeah. There's
carpentry and talent, and
there's like thousands of costumes and tens of thousands of props and hundreds and thousands. It's just fucking mad. The amount of detail that goes into it is mad. And I was utterly fascinated walking around it. Can Warhammer ever get that big? Can it ever get to a point where we've got like that kind of studio that you can go and tour?
With Amazon money behind it,
possibly.
Yeah, I think it would give Warner Brothers a good run for the money. I would just love to sit in a production meeting of a film like Harry Potter. I offer no value at all to what's going on in the room. I would just like to be in the room to hear you all talk creative and who are you going to cast? So did they always have Robbie Coltrane in mind for Hagrid? Or were there a few others? And talking about how are we going to get this person to fly on a broom without too much CGI? How are we going to... And like the letters coming through the door when Harry first gets his Hogwarts letter.
This is part of it, right? This is where my mind's going now with these Warhammer shows that are being brought to Amazon. They'll be in those phases like now.
Yeah.
Who's going to play this character? How are we going to do this? How are we going to make this look? Are we going to use... There's a difference between using CGI and using visual effects and stuff like that. And do we do live action? And there's lots of conversation that I was listening to today. And I actually did a lot of reading. The kids are a bit older, so I was absolutely able to do a lot more reading. And it was talking about this thing we did with visual effects, which is essentially special effects. And this thing we did with such effects, which basically means we use things and prop. And I was like, this is fascinating. Literally fascinating. How do they apply this to 40k?
Missed the intro. Did you guys go to the WB studio for the Harry Potter set in London? That place was so awesome.
We were there today, Mandy. Yes, it was in fact awesome. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was incredible. Like really, really incredible. But yeah, it was one of those things where what my mind did, I enjoyed the experience, and I enjoyed the experience with more context now, but I started thinking about the Warhammer TV show, and I started thinking about the Warhammer film. And I was like, how do we... Like, they must be having those conversations right now.
It can get bigger, I swear. It's just cold in here.
Really, really fucking cold. Thank you, Leaks. And I was like, surely now they're having that conversation of who's going to play what role, what direction are we going to go in? And more importantly, for me, personally, the thing that interests me isn't what actor plays what role, because actually, really, I don't give a fuck about that. What I care more about is, do we do this bit in CGI or...
Yeah.
I'm still surprised very few people have even heard of Warhammer in the US. I was dressed as a fire warrior in an Irish pub, helmet off, and some young server walked up and asked who I was.
That doesn't massively surprise me. People say, at the moment, Evan, thank you for the $10 by the way, people say at the moment Warhammer's huge. And I'm like, I don't think it is. I still think it's quite a niche thing. It's got bigger. It has got bigger. There's more awareness. Space Marine 2 did a massive amount of work for awareness of the Warhammer franchise out there. A huge amount of work. There's people that had never really looked at it before, kind of knew what Warhammer was, but hadn't really looked at it before, who were suddenly playing Space Marine 2 and were interested. I know for a fact that Dawn of War as a video game brought players into the game. I'm sure Space Marine 2 has done similar, right? So it has got bigger. There is more awareness. There's a lot of people out there that I know who will be like, ah, it's for fucking nerds. And then they'll go, I used to have an orc for 20 years ago. So there was a relative amount of awareness from the product years and years ago when people were kids and video games didn't exist and they walked into a local games workshop. But I'm actually still not in the mindset that it is big. I still think it's quite small overall. In terms of, if you were to compare it to the MCU, or you compare it to Harry Potter, or you compare it to Lord of the Rings, like, Warhammer's small, comparatively. Like, really fucking small. But can it get to that size of franchise? Can it get that big? I think it can. Mm-hmm. If they manage it well, and they manage it carefully, I think Warhammer could almost be Harry Potter size. Almost. There's a market for young kids, superhero Space Marines and stuff like that. Like, my nephew's mad on it, and there's lots of young children that I know that are really big on it. There's a market for adults. It's grim, it's dark. It's a hobby behind it. I legitimately think this thing can be massive. And Warhammer. Anyway, you wonderful humans, we're on 9 gifted memberships right now. The tracker's not working, Liz. I've reset end.
Well, luckily, I write everything down.
Turn on start. What if I do this?
We finally cracked open one of the board games from Christmas on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we got round to playing Ticket to Ride. And we've got the junior version. And the maximum amount of time, roughly, is about half an hour per game. And we took one practice go. And then I said, right, Ben, you're on your own now, because I'm going to play as a third person. And he got it. I think now I have a Ben-ometer. One practice go, so everyone knows what they're doing. Can Ben do it on the second go? If he can, great board game. If he can't, no, you've not simplified it enough. The Ben-ometer can't do it.
I get surprised if we can do checkers after one go, quite frankly.
He loved it. It was really good. It's nice and quick as well. Sometimes these kids' board games, when they say 15 minutes to 30 minutes, is it though? But it was really good. Nice and quick.
I'm afraid they would have to tone down the violence/sex/gore to make it get big, and I would rather it not get big, than lose what makes it special. You see them toning stuff down on models already frown.
I actually really agree with that, Mandy, quite a lot.
I asked if he'd ever heard of Warhammer first and he said no. I said basically I'm a line that loves communism. He gave me a blank stare and left.
The old blank stare. Mandy, thank you for the $5 as well.
Thanks, Evan.
Is that a hat trick from Evan?
That's all flying dog incoming.
Mandy, I do agree with you. I think it doesn't necessarily need to tone down the gore and the violence and the sex. I will refer to Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is huge and absolutely plowed through it full of nudity, sex, gore, and violence. So I don't think it needs to do it. I worry that they will, but to be big, Game of Thrones is fucking huge, right? Game of Thrones is really big, really popular. I feel like to get big, you don't necessarily need to tone all that stuff down. I feel like companies take the careful approach because they think it's a safer bet, which is ironic because a lot of people are there for that level of violence, gore, and what have you. I don't know. It does concern me. It does worry me, but I also don't think they need to. I don't think they need to do that stuff, but I am mildly concerned by it. But hey, I don't know how to make a tracker work.
I am your tracker. I'm tracking it.
I think it will be limited because of the subject matter to be equivalent to something like a very big video game franchise.
Maybe. You're possibly right. I don't know. I think you're possibly right, mate. I don't think it needs to be. Is there a Norse?
Are we nerdlings getting popular?
Yes. Norse. Bold. Okay. Right, cool, okay. We're getting there. We're making it work, team. I'm doing my own thing here.
Needs to be toned down for the Asian markets. Skulls and bones / zombies are not allowed in a lot of their media, and you know how the Imperium loves their skulls.
Imperium does love their skulls.
Is that right?
What?
Skulls and bones and zombies are not allowed in Asian media.
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
It's working. I'm doing a thing right now. You're all distracting me a lot here. I'm just doing this thing off the bat as I... Right, okay. It's not quite a tracker. Can I make that, like, larger? It's not quite a tracker, but it's a tracker. I did a thing. I made a thing happen. I was concentrating. Right, more I think it'll be limited because of the subject matter to be equivalent to something like a very big video game franchise. Maybe. Possibly. I feel like the subject matter is part of why it could be big, though, because it's so unique compared to so much other stuff that exists. Are we nerdlings getting popular? Mate, that's also a firm maybe. I don't know if you'll ever be that popular, Dave. Mandy, thank you for that. It needs to be toned down for the Asian market. Skulls and bone zombies are not allowed in a lot of their media. You know how the Imperium love their skulls. Again, like Game of Thrones, though. I don't know. Game of Thrones is like my benchmark for this stuff. To be big, it just has to be a great story. There are loads of great stories in Warhammer. It needs to stay authentic and not try to please the masses. The fans will come. I agree 100%, Chris. Absolutely. Yeah. I made my members track, at least.
You're going to have to manually do that.
I'm going to have to manually... I mean, I do that fucking anyway, don't I? Let's be honest.
Could have just asked me to let you know, because I'm already writing it down.
Yeah, but I like to have it on the screen, because then people know the target. Oh, maybe if I go... People like to know the target, don't they? Banging. Done. Completed it, mate. Completed it, mate. Good. Okay, right. When World of Warcraft came out, the Undead faction had to have its visuals reworked to not show bones and stuff since they aren't allowed in China. That's mad, isn't it? Liam is manually tracking the length of his member tonight. I only need a 50cm ruler. I think that's largely China. I can't imagine Amazon has a foothold in China. Well, there is that as well, isn't there? Maybe that makes it safer because it's Amazon. I agree. 40k needs more nudity. 100%. That's what we're all really here for, right? No, you're not into the nudity thing.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that was one of the things that kind of put me off Game of Thrones.
It's interesting. Why though?
I think I just see it as like, for me, the script is not interesting if you're relying on sex and boobs and.
But I don't think it is relying on it.
Well, I don't know. There's really hot, steamy, sexy scenes that add such value to something. You can't get that kind of reaction anywhere else. And then it's just sex, and it's cheap, and it doesn't add anything, and it just comes across as.
But you've not watched Game of Thrones.
I have watched some of it. The scene where, and I always forget his name. He was really young prince or king or
Joffrey.
That's it. Where he had the room of prostitutes that then pretty much beat each other to death. I walked out the room then because I just thought I'm not entirely sure what I'm watching. No.
I feel like
but that's just me, and it was very successful. That's just me.
That scene added loads to his character, though.
Oh. But then I wonder as well, Game of Thrones being launched in a time where there's just so much sex on telly now.
Oh, it's everywhere.
And that's why I feel like it's cheap writing. Just put some boobs and a penis in there, and it'll be fine. We'll get everybody in.
I mean, you've just sold your program to Joe immediately.
Well, you're just adding power to my argument there, really.
After series 3, I don't know what Game of Thrones was relying on. Yeah, fair. It's just vulgar fantasy world. Doesn't mean it relies on it. Yeah. I don't think it relies on it at all. I think it adds to it in places. When Luce's option for nudity is Liam, it makes sense. What did I do to you, Carl?
That's just my opinion. I know it's a hot take. Is that a hot take?
Yeah.
There you go. There's my hot take.
They need to do it on the level of Vikings.
Agree. Adam, 100%.
It's the nudity in the right context, like a sister of battle being stripped or armor and being sent forward scantily clad with a two-handed chain's word as repentance for some mistake they made is just awesome.
Mandy gets it. Mandy gets it. Must be missing a lot. I only watch TV for football, and then I'm constantly on YouTube. I mean, I don't know how much you are actually missing there, to be fair. There's a lot of TV programs that come on that people, even guys in the studio like Joe and Tom and that, they're like, oh, have you watched such and such? I'm like, no, just not really bothered by it.
Yeah.
And it's like Joe goes on about Reacher. I never watched Reacher. He's like, it's fucking cool. I was like, why? It's just some big muscly dude kicking the shit out of people. Right.
Right.
Okay,
then,
but
and
what's
then what? Yeah.
What's the story?
Yeah.
I'm not really. You're not sold it to me there, to be honest with you. Nude Hammer. I'm here for Nude Hammer. We can play that on the stream. Actually, we probably can't. I'm lying to you. Twitch might allow it, but YouTube definitely won't. I'm not sure you want to see it either, I'll be honest. I don't think you want to see it, to be fair.
Given community reaction to Codex law changes, I for one can't wait for people to tell me what I need to be mad at to be a real fan. Can't wait, can hear the salt with a touch of screeching now.
Oh, guaranteed, Nick, right? Absolutely guaranteed. 100%. And they're going to have to, like everything, the thing is, right, I know for a fact that there's a lot of people in chat who are Lord of the Rings fans, who have watched the Lord of the Rings films. I also know for a fact there's a lot of people in chat who are Harry Potter fans who will watch the Harry Potter films. And so on and so forth. Lord of the Rings films, for a lot of people that live within the hobby, they'll say it's one of the greatest film trilogies ever made. Right? So much love and passion for those films. And people raged about them when they came out. For various reasons. Because things weren't lore accurate to the books.
Yeah.
And often it's a combination of we had to change it to make it ready for screenplay. And we couldn't keep everything in because it would be a fucking 15-hour film each. And we can't do that.
Yeah.
So if you watch the extended stuff and you see the behind the scenes stuff, they'll talk about why they made some of the decisions they made, why they left some characters out, left some bits out, moved some bits around on the timeline to make it make sense. They're going to have to, if they use current narrative, if they use current lore, current novels to turn them into films and TV series, they're going to have to do the same thing. Because you can't represent a lot of books 100% accurately on the screen because it won't make any sense. Because you need things sometimes to be done in a certain time frame for context, and that's when people will instantly start raging because you can't directly represent current written narrative in films and TV every single time. Sometimes you can, but often you can't. You know. I just don't understand people not understanding production. I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's hard one, isn't it? Thank you, the Spriggers, for 5 gifted. Fuck me, we finally hit double figures. I will now go in and change my 9 to 14. The system works.
What, adding?
Adding. I mean, Joe would struggle.
Joe maths.
Yeah, he'd struggle. We're on 14 now, team. Any advance on 14? Can we get to 20? Any advance on 14? Can we get a member choo-choo?
Choo-choo!
Choo-choo! Sometimes, it's so frustrating. Sometimes we get to half an hour in and we're like nearly at the target. And sometimes we get to half an hour in and everyone's like, nah, fuck you today. Not interested. Not interested. A 17-year delay in the films would not have made sense for the narrative of the... Exactly. This is why I think they're better off creating new stories rather than adapting an old one. I'm inclined to kind of agree, sort of, and I think it'd be cool if they develop the narrative with the TV series and the film series. That's an exciting way of developing the narrative and forwarding the narrative. If they, however, recreate some of my favourite books, I also think that could be cool as shit because I like seeing my favourite books recreated on the screen. I'm a big fan of that. Genuinely a big fan of that. So, Lou, start the gift train, says Carl. She just choo-chooed.
Choo-choo! I'll do it again.
Yeah, there you go. Starship Troopers, the movie, was better than the book, in my opinion. I need to shut Steam down. I left Steam running in the background, and I keep getting these little boxes come up saying, such and such is now playing this game. Such and such is now playing this game. I'm like, I don't want to see. I'm working. Go away. We have also got grey names in chat, so you can snipe them. And there is 112 people currently watching right now, right this moment, at night time on Friday. Can't wait for Warhammer live action series. Neither can I. I want it to all be live action. I don't want animated. I fucking hate animated.
Well, we've got the technology for it to be live action.
Yeah, I
guess it's money, though.
Animated is just shit. I might as well just be playing a fancy computer game. I don't want animated. I want live action. I want to see people acting.
Yeah.
Making of 2 Space Marine brothers going through training, the change, the symbolism, one falling to chaos, the other doing a great later stand and getting killed. But yeah, I think that sort of shit would be cool as shit, Dave, honestly. The new Starship Trooper film based more on the books could be interesting, but the OG film is just so good. I've not seen the OG film, to be fair. It doesn't really interest me. Old, like, graphics nonsense isn't... I think I struggled so hard to ever get into the Harry Potter film series because I came to the film series quite late and I watched the first film and the first film was just so bad. Some of the graphics are shit.
What, in the Harry Potter first one?
Yeah.
They really got their budget in the third one.
Yeah, some of the graphics were shit. The acting was dreadful, but they were young kids. I would have been worse. They are young kids, so, you know, you can give them some kind of leeway, I guess, but I don't know. But the acting was fucking awful in the first 2 films. I mean, it wasn't great throughout all films, to be fair. It wasn't great throughout all 8 films. I'm hoping it's not based on any books or established lore. We'll prefer an original story with new characters. That way we have no expectations to live up to. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because on the one hand, that is quite appealing to us, people who are already into the lore and the hobby. On the other hand, I think some people would like to see some of their favourite novels recreated in cinema. And they may have a vision. The thing is, I think there's almost like 2 types of people when they've read a book or they've listened to an audiobook or something. And there's a type that have a vision as to what it looks like, and anything else that they see is then wrong because they've already sort of built their own vision as to what it kind of looks like. And there's the other type who've got their vision as to what it looks like, but when they see their other vision, they go, "Oh no, that's fucking cooler." Oh, I didn't think of it that way. And I think you sit on one side of the fence there normally. And I don't think there is a wrong version of that, by the way, to be fair. I quite like, dare I say this, I am one of those weird dudes who quite likes watching the film first and then reading the book.
I like to do it the other way around. Because
So-
if I see the film first, then my eyes are just tracking across the page. I'm not actually taking anything in because I already know what it looks like.
So I say that if I read the book first, I will, in my mind, have an image as to what the person, the character looks like. And I'm one of those people that when I then see it on the screen, go, "That's not what I thought it would look like." And then I can't switch off from, "That's not how I thought this would look," for some reason. Despite the fact I'm not going, "That's fucking wrong." I'm just going, "That's not how I thought it would look." If I watch the film first, and then I jump into the book afterwards, and they'll go, "Aragon walked into the room," I'm like, "No, what he looks like. Cool, carry on."
Yeah, I have a couple of favourite books, and one of them I would love to see made into a film because I think it would be a really gritty film. I would love to see the creative, like what kind of camera angles and like the colour range that they use in the character clothing and all of that. The other one of my favourites, I don't want it put into a film because they might ruin it.
The Spice Girls autobiography.
No. No.
The TV version of Game of Thrones left so much out from the books. I'm sure it did. But yet they can't have to, right? This is what I'm saying.
Evan, the Black Templars, Sister Apentia story I was talking about is Champions, all by Mark Collins, and Liam stop being so snobby, older movies have better writing, and good story is better than good graphics.
I don't disagree with you that good story is better than good graphics, but I can't watch bad graphics. Doesn't matter how good the story is, I can't watch shit graphics. It annoys me. I read the first chapter of Lord of the Rings, then saw the first film, and then finished the whole book in 6 months at the age of 12. It made me fall in love with reading.
Yeah, I like reading now, only because I'm now reading what I actually want to read.
We have a Lord of the Rings set of books up there you can read.
No, that's not what I like to read.
I think you'd enjoy the books.
No.
Very good.
No, it's not what I like to read.
Very good. I have a similar issue with audiobooks where if I've already read the book, I don't want to listen to the audiobook. Yeah, I kind of see that. I don't know.
I only like the audiobook if it's read by the author. If they've paid a voice actor, I can't.
So
I've
got 2 versions of Fellowship on Audible that I have. The first version I downloaded ages ago, and it's shit. It's done by like just some generic Audible reader, right? It's awful. It's hard to listen to. The second version I have was narrated by Andy Serkis. Now, Andy Serkis in the films played the role of Gollum, and he reads the audiobook beautifully. He does accents. It's fucking great. It's really, really good. And he does an incredible job of being able to start saying something and you know which character is talking. It's so good.
I bet bedtime stories in his house are amazing.
It's really fucking good. It's Andy Serkis. If you don't have Lord of the Rings on Audible, or any kind of like audiobook type system, if you get a chance to get hold of them and you feel like getting hold of them, Andy Serkis narrated Lord of the Rings is fucking goat tier. It's so good. It's so good. He does an incredible job of it, honestly. He also sings the songs really well. He does, yeah. Lord of the Rings is full of songs.
Isn't
full
that
of songs.
that character that's not in the film that sings the songs?
So Tom Bombadil sings a lot of songs, yes.
Right.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm already too hung up on why isn't he in the film?
Andy Serkis is a genius, such a talent. Yeah, 100%. Without doubt. Absolutely. But I also struggle to read. I don't know. I can't. I nearly picked up the first Harry Potter book today. I nearly picked it up because I want to start reading again.
My mate's blind. He says the scariest book he's ever read was a cheese grater.
Oh dear.
Thanks, Dave. I will, however, accept shit jokes tonight. I will also accept, chat, gifted memberships. What was I saying? Yeah, so I want to get back into reading. So I wanted to pick up the first book today and start reading it, and I want to, but I don't know if this is just me, if people have got tips for this, but I struggle because I feel like, right, hear me out. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when we finish the shows, we fuck about for half hour or so. Maybe we watch a TV program. We then go up, have a shower, we go to bed. I could instead go have a shower, go to bed, and sit there and read. But the second I do that, I'm like this. Immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd like to at least get through a fucking chapter. They redid these on Audible. Yeah, the one I've got. So I've started. I say I started a long time ago. I started listening to the first one, Order of the Phoenix, read by Stephen Fry. He also does a very good job of narrating the Harry Potter books. Very good.
I have got one book on my Christmas Advent calendar that I'm making for myself, and I haven't been able to come across it yet, and I haven't been able to find the film either. It's The Basketball Diaries. It's got a very young Leonardo DiCaprio in, but it's about a high school kid who, I think he got scouted for a basketball team, but instead he turned to drugs. And it's a really powerful book because it's laid out in a diary, so it jumps around a lot.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
It's, I think in America you can study it as part of your English. You know, we do a lot of Shakespeare and all of that. You can do Basketball Diaries.
I do want to listen to Mythos by Stephen Fry's a great narrator, to be fair. But then it's like his thing with Warhammer books, right? I've read Warhammer books in the past and thought they're quite good. I've then downloaded them on Audible, knowing that I enjoyed the book. I was like, I'll listen to it this time round because I've read it before, but I haven't really got the time to sit and read. And I can put my headphones in and do stuff and listen. And then the narrator is terrible.
Yeah.
And you listen to it, you're like, I can't listen to this. It's just really bad.
Yeah.
I struggle then. So when we say how big can it actually get, 14 people will be interested. That's it. Done. Just 14.
The last book I burned through was when I last went away. I read the Britney Spears autobiography.
Oh, Broccoli Spears.
There are some really sad bits in that book.
Yeah.
And then before that, it was she was Scary Spice. What's her real name? Melanie Brown.
Yeah.
Melanie Brown. Her book's really, really good. So I think I really struggle with fiction. It needs to have happened for me to invest in it. If it didn't happen, I know it's a lie. I can't invest in it.
Really? But have you not read the Harry Potters?
No.
Have you not? I thought you'd read them.
I tried to read the first one, and I couldn't, because I've already seen the film. I couldn't read the book.
I was sure you were a bookworm for these ones, and you read them all.
No. They're, as well as they're really thick as well. Immediately off-putting. I can't.
So you're a non-fiction person.
Yeah, it has to be. It doesn't have to be traumatizing or sad. It just has to have happened.
Gav, thank you for one gifted. You're a legend. Up to 15. Choo-choo loose for me now.
Choo-choo.
Now surely the train will start. Surely the train will start now, and of the 130 people watching, each one of them will give 5, and then we could all have a fucking fantastic weekend. You all get to feel good because you've done something nice, and then I get to feel good because we hit membership target.
I always listen to the sample to see if I like reader's voice regardless of how much I love the bookies won't get audiobook if I don't like voice.
Yeah, I've been stung by
Yeah,
that a few
I've
times,
done that.
Okigdor. There's a couple of times, I mean like 2 or 3 times, so it's not loads. There's a couple of times I've been stung where I've picked up a book and gone, just downloaded it immediately, used an Audible credit, downloaded it immediately. I get like half an hour to 40 minutes in to see if I can settle on the voice, and sometimes I'm like, I can't. This is just shit. You know?
The only trilogy I've read back to back was the Judith Kerr and Hitler's Talking Rabbit.
Don't mean to remind you, but did send a message to ask Liam on Discord about the airbrush.
I haven't. I will look. I haven't looked yet, Adam. Thank you. Thank you so much. It would have gone into my needs to read this folder. Someone out there, remind me tomorrow morning. Because I won't look tonight, I'll be honest. But I'll have a look tomorrow morning for you. Sorry, mate. I make up with a small nail by having a big hammer. Brilliant. Brilliant.
I've never heard that one. But that's the only trilogy I've read, and it sort of half happened because it's semi-autobiographical.
Yeah,
So it sort of happened.
I was sure you'd read more fiction. I'll be honest.
No, actually, I'm lying to you. The first fiction big book that I did ever read was Narnia. And that was because my dad got me the whole Chronicles of Narnia in this really beautiful, big, massive book. It could have been a weapon on a burglary. Massive.
And this coming from a guy who normally listens text to speech from my Kindle.
Oh god, I couldn't do that. You're a better man than me. Oh, the members thing is like right over the super chat thing. Should put it down here instead.
But that's the first non-fiction book. And every Christmas for a long time, I kept going back to it, had a big break, and then went back to it again. So then there's the whole nostalgia thing of, I know exactly what happens in that story. I've read it 1,000 times, but I'll go back to it. And as an audiobook, I don't even know who I'd like to listen to reading.
So now that Val Kilmer died, will you finally watch it, Liam? No graphics, so that should be an issue.
What the fuck's Heat? For fear of now triggering Mandy, what the fuck is Heat? Never heard of it. Val Kilmer only ever played Batman, didn't he? Is that true?
Yeah, I did, I think. How can you read Narnia but not Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Good question.
It is a very good question. I don't know. I don't even know how that... I think my dad just got me this really beautiful book, and I didn't want to be rude. Started reading it, actually liked it.
What's the first one? The Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah.
Right. Let's get the first one. I'll read it and then you'll read. If I can read the book, you can then read the book.
No, I've already seen the film. I can't... all I'm doing is then replaying the film in my mind while I'm reading the book. It won't be exciting. I've already seen the film.
What are you doing to me here?
But I have been told that Ginny's character is very different in the book. So you should enjoy that character.
What's the difference of all these titles? Oh, that's a nice book. Gryffindor edition.
Man, everybody wants to be Gryffindor.
No, I just don't. I don't like. I don't like the artwork on the books that were for sale. So I went to the shop today. There was like 3 versions of the book, right? The first one was the paperback version. If I'm going to sit and read a book, I want the small paperback version.
No.
If I'm going to sit and read a book, I want the little book version. I want that one, right? So I can literally sit there, one-handed, like that, and read the book. And that's how I read. And I'll sit there with my fingers, honestly, I just sit there like that, read the book, right? So if I'm going to sit and read it, I want the small paperback version, okay? The paperback version they had, I don't like, this is a really fucking childish thing. I don't like the artwork on the front. I might just have to suck it up and get the one with the artwork on the front. But I don't like the artwork on the front. I didn't like it. It annoyed me, okay? If I'm going to get a collectible book...
It's a nice bum. I'll allow it. See, now this is too much. This feels like homework now.
If I'm gonna get a collectible version, I want a big fucking chunky hardcover.
So you're never going to open those?
Probably not. But look how nice they are.
Then why have you unwrapped them?
Because they're nice.
But if you're never going to use it, then now it's open to the elements. Why did you unwrap them?
I might read them. I might actually read these versions. It's got.
Shit, babe.
I caught that.
See,
Though.
Lord of the Rings is
I caught that.
deadly.
I caught that. It's fine. I caught that. Right. Look how nice. Look at that.
What's that? Mushrooms? I don't know what it is.
And then when you open it up, you get a nice little bit of artwork inside. Right. And look, there's illustrations in this one as well. These ones have been illustrated. It's stunningly pretty, this book. Full of illustrations. But this isn't a one that this isn't a book I'm gonna power through in 3 weeks of evening and readings. This is a take my time.
I didn't intend to power through the books that I ended up powering through.
So, at Harry Potter World, I've got an autobiography up there you can read as well.
Whose?
Matt Letizier's. At Harry Potter World, they had the first one that was available was the paperback, and I didn't like the artwork. The second one that was available was a hardback, but it was about fucking this big. Now, actually, probably really accessible for kids.
Yes, I did like
Large
that one.
print, big images, really nice. So it's like it's not overwhelming when you open a page. Cool,
yeah.
but not something I want. The third version I found is in another section entirely in the shop, and it's really weird. Like it doesn't, the book doesn't close properly. They have a display version that you can open up, and it's got like it'll talk about like a special clock at part of the book, and then when you open it, there's like a little pop out clock thing, and you can fucking. There's another bit that talks about. Diagon Alley, and it opens up and opens up and opens up, and it shows you a big pit line, and it's cool, but again, it's not practical. Like it's fun, but I'm not sitting there. I'm not going to sit there and thumb it with one hand, sat in bed. Take from that what you will. Morty Hammer, thank you for 5 gifted. Whoop whoop. We are a 5th of the way there. Nice.
You want me to choo-choo?
No.
Oh.
It's 16 minutes past.
Oh. Bum, 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 bum. A rat superhighway is emerging across Birmingham.
This has been there for years.
It's really bad now.
Is it?
Because the bin strike. Have you heard about the bin strikes?
No.
So
yes, I have actually. Yeah.
So now there's rats that have started. Obviously, they have because the rubbish isn't getting picked up. But now there's a real worry that when the rubbish does eventually get picked up, the rats will continue to come to where the food was, and when they can't find the food, they'll be so brazen that they'll just enter people's homes looking for food.
I can believe that.
Because they've been above ground with the people mixing.
I can absolutely believe that. It's terrifying, isn't it? Have you seen the size of some of the piles out there?
No.
It was on the news the other day.
Last week it was on the news, but I think they might have stopped covering it for now because agency staff who have been brought in to help do the bin pickups, they can't do the bin pickups because the strikers are walking in front of the bin trucks really slow, so it's holding everything back.
They're not just picket lining, they're stopping everything from leaving.
Yeah.
There was some images of it, and there's some fucking big rats as well.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. There's one reporter that said a breeding pair of rats can breed up to 200 babies a year. And as soon as those babies grow up and breed, you've very quickly got around 2,000 rats from one breeding pair in the year.
I like rats as well, just not wild ones.
Yeah.
And they even domesticated ones.
I thought you were never more than 20 feet away from a rat at any one time anyway.
That's sort of true.
But now with the rubbish there.
Yeah, it looks bad actually.
It's a bit of a buffet.
In Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does mean that its value, Birmingham's value has gone up.
No, I think they're one of the councils that have increased their council tax.
Yeah. Well, I think, have they not increased their council tax, but they're cutting the wages of the people picking up the refuse? And that's what the whole strike's about.
Yeah, I think that's what started this whole thing off, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Morty Hammer, for 5 gifted, by the way. Chat, we're on 20 out of 100. We are fucking struggling here. Someone save us. And yet Birmingham Council expect the workers to take an 8k pay cut. 8k, exactly.
Oh my God.
I'll be honest with you, if someone told me to take an 8k pay cut, I'd tell them to shove it up their ass as well. That is pay cuts potentially understandable in the current economic climate, maybe, but it's never going to go down well, is it? 8k is mental.
See, that's why I'm glad we can buy a little thing called a pulse fire. In the US, flamethrower you can attach to your rifle or just use as a hand flamer, all for only $499.
See, we can go live in America and buy a flamethrower.
Yes, and then what happens when you accidentally get yourself with the flamethrower?
Well, it's my fault then,
We
isn't
can
it?
just walk into a hospital here and get treated.
If I accidentally got myself with a little bit of a flamethrower, I probably wouldn't go to hospital. It'd be too embarrassing anyway.
No, I'd need you to go.
Nah.
I'd need to hear it out loud from your mouth that you were a knobhead with a flamethrower.
Nah.
I'd need to hear
That's
it.
never happening.
I'd need the shame to happen.
Never happening.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's do it. It'll be cleansing.
Not gonna happen.
It'll be cleansing, if
Not gonna
anything.
happen. Stop talking so much about cleansing. You sound like Brom.
Do I?
It took a while. We got there. Morty Hammer, not you again. Chat, he's carrying you right now. He is carrying you all. Thank you for 20 gifted. Morty Hammer, you fucking hero. Any advance on 20? Who's matching Morty's commitment? He's on 25 right now. Fucking absolute hero, mate. Thank you so much. What a fucking legend. 20 gifted memberships.
I hope for you, Mordy, that if, like myself today, I was presented with the opportunity to domesticate fellow Foxy, that you do have a pull top can of tuna on your person at that time to coax said Foxy back to your house for a life of sweet domestication. I bought the other tin of tuna that needed a tin opener, so I could not coax said Foxy home.
I have told you repeatedly, right? I am more than happy for you to coax said Foxy home and domesticate him. I just get to buy my own dog.
You did buy the dog.
No, I bought you a dog.
You bought the dog.
No. I bought you a dog.
It's not my fault she loves me more than you.
It's because I bought you a dog.
So now, I shall be prepared, Mordy. I'm going to carry a tin opener in my bag amongst the other things that I have then come home and said from now on, I shall be carrying that in my bag because this situation unraveled before me and I was not prepared for it.
I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad that you weren't prepared for it. I don't want a fox here, quite frankly.
Oh, it looked so scared and little and lost. And it was doing like a silent call thing. It was opening its mouth and no noise was coming out. I'm sure there was a noise, but I couldn't hear it. And it was all like skulking around looking for its mum. And I was like, just come home with me. There's
Honestly.
a nice cozy radiator you can sleep by, have a spare dog bed. Come home with me.
Only 46 likes. Come on, people. For what? Oh, no, it's on 78, Rev. It's to the Reverend. Lynn just wants to recreate Fox and the Hound, it seems. If Lou said to me tomorrow, okay, you can get yourself another dog. I know it's not going to happen, Lou, so don't worry. If she did, I actually don't know what breed I'd pick.
No, I can't think of one.
There's so many that I like.
I think it's because I'm done. Like, I can't think of a single breed.
I would like to be like, I'd instantly have a German Shepherd, because I really want a German Shepherd. However, I fucking love collies so much that I'd be like, I'll have another collie. But I'd have to go like Sable, because I couldn't have another black and white collie because of her. But then there's also like 3 other breeds. There's so many cool breeds. I'd love like a fucking Rhodesian Ridgeback. Big fucking powerhouse bastard.
No.
Pug, you got fuck all chance. Chihuahua, not. If you can drop kick it, it's not a real dog. If you can drop kick it, it's not a real dog. That's the fucking fact.
Oh, would love to donate, but just have my redundancy confirmed. I shall certainly in the future, but currently watching the pennies. Feel
Bless you.
Guilty as loiter fairly regularly. Don't you dare feel guilty, Craig.
Feel fucking guilty, Craig.
No, Craig.
Fuck feeding your family. It's all about ours. I'm joking. You're fucking fine, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Great Danes. Oh, I like a Great Dane. Oof. Yeah, see? There's loads of great breeds out there. That's the problem, isn't it? I was about to say, I love a Rhodesian Ridgeback. There's a guy at work who used to take a Rhodesian Ridgeback into work, and I used to play with it all the fucking time. Great fucking beast that thing was.
No, I'm done.
No, I think I am also done. But if you said to me tomorrow, go for it, I probably wouldn't think twice, but I wouldn't know what breed I would go for. I think I'd have decision paralysis. It's not going to happen, so it's an irrelevant question, really. But I'm just throwing it out there as a topic of conversation.
I wonder if a very hard swing into the I'm done camp is because I'm quite economical. And having a dog costs a percent. Because when I was a kid, having a dog, it just lived off the scraps of food that the kids didn't eat. And it played with the kids. So there was no dog sitting. There was no dog walking while you were at work because it just hung out with the kids all the time. And you shared your food with the dog. There was no dog insurance. Hardly ever went to the vets.
Well, if you think about it now, like the dog insurance is like fucking, because she's old and she had a bit of a bad start. Her dog insurance is like £70 a month now, right? Food is how much a month roughly? Ish.
Probably about 80.
Yeah. So right. So we're at £150 a month now for the dog alone. Like, I don't wish any ill on her at all, and I would quite happily have her for another 10 years. It'd be really helpful right now.
Yeah. That's what I mean by being economical. She can't have the cheap food because you can just start the clock on when she'll get sick off that. Yeah. I don't want to know what's in the cheap food anymore because there was one brand that had antifreeze in it.
Yeah, but the dog didn't get cold.
That was the headline.
You could leave the dog in the garden and it wouldn't freeze to death.
Be an evergreen dog.
Thank you, Colton D, for the 5 gifted memberships. You're a legend. We're up to 45. We're 5 away from halfway, chat. I believe in someone. I don't know who, but I believe in someone getting us to halfway when I open my eyes. Tell me when I can open my eyes.
We'll try for tomorrow.
I am committed.
This is it, chat. This is what Liam looks like when he sleeps.
I'm glad you said when I sleep. I was like, where'd she go? Oh, okay, good. We're safe. Fuck. How big a dog would you actually get? Another breed that I love is a Leonberger. I would never get that breed of dog because it's a fucking horse. It's a fluffy horse, but I like it. Okay, Gore, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. You legend. There is 121 people in chat. I do this all the time. But actually, if every single person just parted with $5 and gifted 1, we'd hit target.
Pro tip: if your pet gets antifreeze, get it drunk. Smiley face emoji.
Is that a real thing? I don't yet endorse this tip, chat, from Mandy. Thank you for the $10 though, you absolute hero. Because I'm not sure if that's true. I'm not saying she's lying, but yeah, you know.
So that's why I think I'm so firm in the camp of I'm done with dogs because I'm quite economic.
I'm a little bit different. I'm done. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, a dog would be fucking great for me because I didn't get to really train her or be with her every day because I was in the army at the time.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, I'm my own boss. I could take it with me everywhere. I could take it to the studio every time, which logically makes sense, right? I can have my own studio dog, who could be the hobby house dog. Sounds incredible, doesn't it? But actually, I like riding to and from work. And don't you fucking dare start on sidecars.
But it's also the liability insurance of having a dog on premises.
Well, yeah, I don't know the detail on that, but I would suspect.
Gone are the days that you could just put a sign up that says there's a dog wandering around.
Yeah. I don't know the detail on that, but I suspect there will be liability insurance involved because all it takes is for it to nibble someone's hand, and that's fucking it. Then you get sued, and your business is done because that's the world we live in. Despite the fact that you were poking the dog with a stick first.
I nearly adopted another husky yesterday, but a couple beat me to it as they reserved him first.
The hobby hound is a great name, honey. I fucking love a husky. I love a husky. Siberian specifically, but I do like a good Alaskan Malamute. I'm such a dog person. A raising sidecar comment. Thank you. Thank you, Nautinus. I can't even say your name, Nautinius.
Nortonius.
Yeah, that's what I said. Probably. I'm trying to figure out, right, if these books that I found on Amazon, it says Harry Potter Children's Collection.
The books?
Yeah. Does that mean that they're different?
They're the big ones that we saw.
But Children's Collection, is it... I don't want to sound stupid here.
Okay.
But Children's Collection doesn't necessarily mean that they've... Because it's not the big ones that we saw. These are the little paperback versions. But Children's paperback... Does it mean that they've written differently? They haven't changed the language, surely. Surely it's the same content.
Oh, I don't know. I would have thought that the big ones that we saw were the children's collection. Many more pictures, bigger print.
I really want to know. It's just a shitty artwork, but I found a hardcover box set. Would it be the same? Is it the same?
We're currently reading Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Quite funny, but I've already seen the film. So James hasn't seen the film, and on a Thursday I read to them, because at least it forces us to have a cup of tea and sit down for half an hour and just do some reading. So that's how I'm getting through it, because he hasn't seen the film. So every time he hears the quick wit of Coach Genghis, he's finding it hilarious. Even though I'm hearing Jim Carrey, he has no idea
Because he's not seen it.
Yeah.
There is definitely an innocence about people, like a lovely innocence about people experiencing it for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And never having heard or seen, they make up their own mind. And like I've definitely had it before, where we speak to people like, well, what do you think they look like, or
Yeah.
you know, and if you've already seen the films, perhaps you're a bit tainted already. But
Yeah.
there is definitely something lovely about that. Oh, there's like special editions. Special edition Harry Potter sets loose. There is a Harry Potter complete deluxe set of first edition hardbacks on a collectibles website for only £3,749.99. Just a cheeky £4,000 on 8 books.
Are you actually going to buy Harry Potter books?
Why? Why the question? That's a loaded question already.
Yes, it is a loaded question.
Why?
Because this was a very lovely day. It is not the hyperfocus. Please don't spend money on books that you're just going to donate in a couple of years' time.
I don't donate books.
I feel like the Harry Potter books would get donated.
I want to read them. I could tell many funny stories. He would never talk to me again.
Then why don't you... I'll get you the first one from the library, and if you burn through that one and you go, actually, yeah, then we'll read them all first.
Touche.
Then if you want to spend proper money on collector's books...
I got a black cherry rum going down too easy. Is it the Kraken one? Because that one is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Captain Rex, thank you for the one gifted. You're a legend. Up to 47.
Ash can lend you them all, for fuck's sake, babe.
I don't want his books.
Ashley, can we please lend the books if no one else is reading them?
Just the first one to start with. Luce hates reading and education.
I like reading and
Our
education.
kids have got no chance, have they? It's just me that gets bullied in this house. Oh, fucking another snap. God damn it! Do we think the membership tracker's working yet? Do you think it's working yet? Nope, still broken. Still broken. Put your foot down. Fuck off, Dave.
I shall put my foot down. We were just talking about the economics of having the dog now, and here you are looking on the internet for the Harry Potter series, you've never read the books, you might hate the books because you've already seen the films.
We've already discussed how I like to watch the films first and then I read the books.
So we'll lend some books off Ash. You can read the books, and then you'll be like, yeah, actually, I like them. I now know what I'm buying.
I don't like your logic.
No, it saves you money.
It's
Terrible
not,
logic.
you
Terrible.
I tell you what, you do not fucking save me money.
You can't save all the money, babe. You need to spend the money to live. So you can't save all of it.
One day what we'll do when you go on this save money and don't buy the things you don't need rant is I'll just walk you into a fucking haberdashery and let's see how that goes then.
I'll go fine, because I don't have to buy everything in there. I don't, babe. You can look at me like that and try and infer to chat that I have a problem at the haberdashery. I don't. One of us has been poor before. I'm not scared of it. Thank you very much.
I've been poor.
Have you?
Yeah. We were poor together, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm getting old enough that the books I bought as a young adult are actually starting to become valuable. I didn't buy any as a young adult, unfortunately. This is the weird world you live in, isn't it? Because collector's editions come out, and when you come to buy these collector's editions, you actually have no idea if what you're buying is something that will be valuable in 10, 20, 30 years' time, or won't be valuable. It's a complete gamble. And sometimes you buy a collector's edition that in 20 years' time is worth fuck all. And sometimes you buy a collector's edition that in 20 years' time is worth 10 times its value. And you never know when you buy these collector's editions, and companies get you by going, collector's edition.
The films leave out tons of content, but yeah, he's being irrational, loose, make him wear a long sleeve shirt, he's definitely earning that beating.
How is it irrational to buy a book? How do we get there? Especially you fucking lot as well. Especially Warhammer fans. Especially you fucking lot who, if next week I was like, here's my brand new orc green fucking dice with my logo on the front, sold out. And all the names that come through will be ones we've seen before. So how are you lot giving me the lecture?
I think, chat, you've plucked a nerve. Well done.
Patrick, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're a fucking legend. We're over halfway. Yeah. Downhill from here, chat. Downhill.
Do you know what? I don't think I buy collector's stuff.
Do you not?
No, I don't think
I'm
I
a
do.
sucker for it. But the thing is, a lot of people will buy collector stuff because they think the value is higher in the future. But I'm the person that's like, even if the value is higher, so say I had that whole first edition series of books, right, which is currently going for nearly fucking $4,000 on some website. If I knew it was that level of value, I'd still probably struggle to sell them unless I was really in a fucking pinch.
Do you know what I take from that? That he's valued them at £4,000 and nobody's bought them.
I reckon that value will be a value based on data.
Yeah, but nobody's buying them. The value surely is only confirmed when somebody's willing to pay it.
Yeah, but there is a bunch of sets on eBay that are hundreds and hundreds of pounds with bids on them. Like, yeah, but anyway, that aside, I'm the guy that, like, if we were literally unable to pay our bills, I'd be like, I don't want to part with these, but they're worth a lot of money, and we're struggling to pay our bills, and I would, but I'd have to be in that kind of pinch. Because I'm like, I don't care what the value is. I bought it because I like it because it's a collector's edition. I know I'm one of X number of people in the world that own one. I like that. I do. I'm a fan of that kind of thing. I'm a sucker for limited edition. What shade of green? See? I get collector's edition because I like them not to sell. Yeah, I'm the same, Edward. 100% I'm the same. Absolutely. Read the books backwards. Harry creates Voldemort and then runs around the world to hide Horcruxes. Only go to school to learn. I'm a fan of doing that.
I'm not saying I don't have the 3 End and the Death Collector's editions on my shelf. But Luce is telling you to read the first before you commit. She's being smart, you are being impulsive.
It's a rarity, isn't it?
You are very impulsive.
I mean, I know I'm impulsive. That's why I discuss things with you first.
I pride the fact that I almost have a saddle on you now. Almost. You've grown so much. We've come so far together.
Now, to be fair, Luce isn't actually far off. Genuinely, she's not far off the mark there now, because now if I am a lot more aware of an impulsive purchase now, and if I'm going to make an impulsive purchase, I used to just click the buy. Done. And now what I do is I talk to Luce about it first. And sometimes she'll be like, yeah, grab it. And sometimes she'll be like, you've not really mentioned this one before. Let's leave it a week.
And then sometimes I go, are we feeling a bit sad? Because this is the 4th text message this week about a 4th different thing. I think we need to put the kettle on. Are we a bit, is Hobby House taking too long and we're bored? Are we sad? Is that what's actually happening here?
I do want to put the kettle on and have a nice cup of tea in my new cup before bedtime.
Okay. Well, we're going to have something to eat, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm quite hungry. I'm really into lunchtime, apart from a tub of mackerel.
Pony lessons in the future.
I'd love to have a horse.
Oh, no.
Have you ever done... You did do horse riding, didn't you? Because I got it for you as a present once.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah. Horses are fucking incredible creatures. I wouldn't want to keep one.
My arse was so sore for a week. Saddle sore is a real thing. I didn't think it was. I thought it was a weird, like, in-joke between horsey people.
Yeah. So, you get it riding a bike if you haven't ridden your bike for ages. Like, pedal bike. You get saddle sore.
No, this was the horses. It's just power.
Yeah, I did a bit of horse riding many moons ago with my ex before I met you, actually, because she used to do show jumping, and dressage, and she had three horses. We used to go to the stables, and I'd ride the biggest one. I can't remember the name of this fucking thing. I used to ride the biggest one around, and my God, the power. Yeah. And they're just such lovely, fucking wonderful creatures as well.
And they're just muscle.
Oh my God.
It's just muscle.
I can be impulsive too, that Weta Titus and Saint Celestine. Plus I want a rocking chair for my nursery.
The Weta stuff. I got into Weta with Gandalf, who I'm still very proud to have here, who I am thinking, he's such an incredible fucking model with incredible detail that I am strongly considering legitimately taking him out of there once Hobby House opens and putting him in his own glass cabinet in Hobby House so people can see him in Hobby House because he's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And I'm thinking that there might be a couple more Weta statues in the future of Hobby House because it's just nice decor then, isn't it, for the place? Because that's, I can't remember how many hundreds of pounds he was, but I feel like he's a bit wasted there because I can see him. He's fucking. You guys can't even see him properly. It's fucking stunning. Look at him. Oh, John! I was getting panicky, John. I'll be honest. It's been a fucking hard week already, which is not great for the first week of the month, is it? But thank you so much, Mr. the Ballsack, for 50 gifted memberships. What should we hope for John?
You're doing the hope for John.
That's why I said, what should we hope for John?
No, what can you hope for John?
I hope, John, that for the next 12 months, every single time you decide to make an impulsive purchase, your wife is fully on board. Fully on board.
I do it because I love you. That's why I do it. Because I know it's the ADHD thing. I know you get professionally bored and you wanted Hobby House to be up and running by now. And I know that you're chomping at the bit to really sink your teeth in to your next little empire. And I know that your spending ideas are not coming from a place of invested interest.
John says he's gifting from 35,000 feet.
Oh, that's clever.
35,000. I think, John, you should gift the same amount of members that equals a percentage of the height that you are. 1% of the height that you are. 1% of the height you are. Sweet.
Well, it's more than the 0.0000007.
We are irrelevant!
0.7.
We don't make a difference. We don't make a difference.
None of us make a difference.
None of us make a difference. Thank you, Mr. the John. Look at that team. 150 dice giveaway. We got dice spare still?
Yes, we don't have.
Have we got white ones left over as well? I want some fresh white ones.
Yes.
For me. What colours do we have?
Red, white, or purple.
How many of each, roughly?
We've got lots of white, 5 red, and maybe only 2 purple.
Okay, if we hit 150, we'll do a pack of white dice giveaway. Facts.
Loose, baby update. Did the anatomy scan ultrasound last night? Everything looks okay. He's measuring a week ahead and it was cool seeing him kick hard during the scan.
Aww.
Little soccer player. Thanks to everyone who joined the Horror Heresy stream on Titans last night. I have been John, right. I don't want to get you too excited. I don't want you to be irresponsible because you'll get so excited. I have recently been talking to Joe about the painting projects, the order of projects, the plan for the remainder of the year, essentially. And I have essentially given him a greenish light to paint up 2 Heresy armies so we can start playing it more frequently on the channel. It won't be straight away. There's other things he's got to do first. It's not highest priority on the list. But I have essentially given him the green light to paint up 2 armies. Mostly because I really want to play Heresy Space Wolves. But thank you so much for the 50 gifted, man. You're an absolute legend. Hopefully some of you did go in there and check out the Titans stream for Heresy. John says he's on about coming over again sometime mid-year.
Ooh.
Always welcome.
Come on down.
House is always open to you. I will make you dinner again. Erebus is a very popular name. Erebus is a great name.
I'll make John dinner this time.
But normally if he comes here, it's on a Wednesday. It's your day off.
That's all right. I'll make John dinner this time.
Oh, bless you. I'll be there this summer. Yeah, that's what I said. Mid-year. Mid-year. June, July time. Honestly, John, you can just have my spare room. We'll just make it John's room. Just come and live with us. But hey, we are... Oh, it's 50 minutes before... Excuse me, 50 minutes before we finish. John saved it. We're on 96 likes right now, team. 107 people watching at this very moment in time. I believe we can do 3 more likes to get a view liked here.
Yes.
It's not difficult. Is it? It's really easy.
I can unlike it if you like.
No, thanks. I want to take you guys out for dinner. There's a lovely restaurant right on the water at the hotel I stay. Is it Ocean Village where you stay? Because if it is, I know the restaurant you're talking about, and it is quite nice. If it's the one is it either... We can come out for dinner. It is either Ocean Village, the village of the ocean. Is it Banana Wharf or is it Maritimo Lounge? Does John have a really popular OnlyFans or something, dropping 50s all over the place? Yeah. Yeah. It's just pictures of Horror Heresy models on top of feet. If you're lucky, he might even try and gift you one. Might even have enough for a couple of Thunderhawks painted up ready for Heresy to buy. So I'm already gonna paint the Thunderhawk in Space Wolves colours, Kev. So yes. But I want to know if this grey is acceptable grey for Heresy. Is this acceptable grey for Heresy, John? Is that an acceptable grey for Heresy? Not this model, to be clear. Is that an acceptable grey for Heresy? Because that's an acceptable grey for Heresy. I'm down for painting fucking Mark 6 Space Marines. I'm actually a little bit sad today.
Why?
I've made no progress on him because I haven't had the time.
But having a day away from a project is good.
But I did extra
faffing with it.
I did extra edge highlighting last night, yesterday morning, that I like more than I intended to do.
There you go.
And the edging, having just seen that on the camera,
Oh
it
yeah,
looks fire.
You were going to do your 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, but I did extra yesterday because I didn't know if I'd get time
okay.
today, so I feel
Yeah.
like I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the Heresy Grey. Best grey. Best grey. Because I went fishing in my hobby stock area the other day. I have 5 of the Heresy Terminators new in box. I have 3 packs of the axes and shields for the dudes that go on the Space Marines new in box. But they come from the old Burning of Prospero models, so I don't know if I'd have to get the old, I think it's like Mark IV. I have Lehman Russ new in box and his Wolves new in box. Fucking all about that life. What do you mean they're shit? They're beautiful. What are you talking about? The Space Wolf Heresy fucking Terminators is gorgeous. Will, thank you for the 1 gifted. You're a legend. What a hero. Have I missed something else? Oh, I missed Patrick's fucking 5 gifted. Thank you, Patrick, for the 5 gifted memberships. I feel bad now. It was ages ago.
I didn't miss it, Patrick. I caught it.
It looks great. My numbers are all over the place. So that says 100. So that should be 105 according to YouTube. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Do you have the GIMP masks? The shit like wolf heads? No. No. Do you see Army Painter's new historical range? Apparently they consulted with World War II historians to get the right colours. Those sets looks cool. No, I haven't. The thing is, right, I fully understand and accept the fact that there's loads of other paint companies that make great paints out there. I also understand the fact that there's loads of paint hipsters that will go, don't use Games Workshop paints because apparently that's the cool thing to do. However, I am incredibly at home in Games Workshop Citadel paint pots. That's where I enjoy painting. I have a rack right here, which is an IKEA thingy rack, and I buy 3D printed paint pot holders from Etsy, right? And I bought 4 pot holders for like Warpainter war paints and Vallejo air paints and Vallejo game paints because it basically filled all the ones I had. And I filled the rest of the rack with Citadel paint pot paints, right? What I have discovered is I don't have enough Citadel pot holders, and there's a whole rack of 3 of the Vallejo paint pot holders that have done fuck all since I put the paints up there. They're just sat on there and done nothing. Nothing at all. So, those 3 paint pot holders, I've ordered 3 of the GW ones. They're coming down, and those Game Air paints will go into the studio, and if Joe wants them, he can have them, because I just don't use them. I just don't use them. So they're going to come down. They'll be replaced with Citadel ones. I'll keep 1 rack because I use Vallejo matte black. Army Painter matte black, Army Painter matte white, and scale color 75 something brown. I don't even know what it's called anymore. The fucking name's rubbed off of it. Something Gobi brown, that's it, Gobi brown. That's all I use.
I started on Army Painter because they sold a pack with 50 paints and GW did not. Been using a mix of them since, but yay, Army Painter are my usual go-to paints. Oh. I've used pretty much all the colours.
I have categorically nothing against Vallejo and nothing against Army Painter at all. They're great paint ranges. I used to use a lot of Vallejo metallics, and I used to think they're just better than GW ones. But I'm comfortable with Games Workshop paints. I know what they look like. So many guides out there use Citadel paint ranges. Secondly, I can literally drive 15 minutes and I'm in my local Games Workshop and I can grab any paint I want because they have the whole fucking range in my local Games Workshop. That's also a massive bonus. So I'm just going to stick to what I know. And then if I just have a single colour for gold and a single colour for brass across all my armies, I just know the recipe. Okay, because I'm terrible. I have a little notepad somewhere where I've started writing down my paint recipes, because what I'll do is I'll paint a model and then, cool, I've done that beautiful bronze colour, I'm really happy with it. And then maybe 3 months later, I'll go to do it again, I'm like, how did I do that?
Yeah.
How do I make it the same? Because I want to make it the same. So it's just easy to use Games Workshop paints then, because again, I know I'm going to get the same colour. I have nothing against it. There's some where I'm a bit different. So people are like, oh, I think it's Turbo Dork Colour Shift. I never think I've seen them look nice. They always just look shit, in my opinion. And that's one of the important things, right? It's an opinion. They look shit is not a fact. That's my opinion. So if you love it, then that's fine. Doesn't mean I'm saying it's bad. That doesn't mean it is bad. It means I don't think it looks good. People seem to get really strung up on opinion versus fact. So a lot of people will go, I think it looks shit, which means factually it's shit. No, it means you think it looks shit, which is perfectly valid. That's your opinion. That's perfectly fine. Doesn't mean it looks shit. Doesn't mean that other people have to conform to what you think. So when I say I hate turbo dot color shift paints because I don't like them at all, I'm not saying no one should use them ever, because if you love the way they look, that's all that matters. It's your miniatures. It's irrelevant what I think at that point. Entirely irrelevant what I think. If people were asking for me to give them an opinion, I'll give them an opinion. But, you know, whether they are or not bad, I can tell you I think it's terrible. You might then painting, oh, I actually really like it. Fine, cool. Okay, happy days. I also saw someone say, how did I paint that grey? So, I base coated with Vallejo black primer, right? Which is fucking incredible primer. It doesn't give the best finish ever, but it gives an incredibly good finish. And it's really durable. And I haven't yet had problems with me rubbing it off with my fingers. I have issues. My oils on my fingers destroy paints on models for some reason.
Oh.
And Joe used to be like, it's not a thing. Your paint's terrible. And then because he doesn't varnish all of the miniatures, and he realised the ones I was using, the paint was starting to come off him. He's like, what the fuck? I was like, I told you, I've basically got corrosive skin. Right? It just strips the So this Vallejo stuff, I used to use a different primer. I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but it was a beautiful primer. It was Waller told me to use it, and it was perfectly smooth. This is slightly less smooth, but still smooth enough for a person like me. You're not going to see like grains or bubbles or whatever. It's still very smooth. It's just not quite as smooth. But what happens is it doesn't rub off my hand. So I use that black primer. I've then taken so far Max Standard Grey out of this pot, splodged it into my airbrush, added some thinner only, thinned it up. And then I airbrushed, and I just kept airbrushing thin coats until I got a very solid grey. I do not like, again, personal preference, I do not like zenithal highlighting with things like airbrushes. I don't like people spraying black, top spraying white, and then putting a colour over. I also think that looks fucking shit. And there's I just fucking hate it. And from a distance, it looks like a cool gradient. You bring the model up close, and it looks like it was done by a 4-year-old. So I don't like that at all, right? So I keep going with Max Standard Grey until I get a really solid grey, as you can see on him. A really solid grey. Right? That was all airbrushed on, and it's a solid colour. It also, the other bonus of doing a solid colour and not zenithal highlighting, also means if I make a fuck up, which I do, because I'm a ham-fisted twat, when I make a fuck up, what I can do is I can get the pot of Max Standard Grey, I can put it on my palette, and I can neaten it up again, and because I haven't done a weird zenithal highlight, a weird fade, I just put the paint on and it looks neat again because I haven't done I don't have to try and copy a fade or copy a fucking zenithal with a paintbrush. What I've then done is I've started edge highlighting with a thick edge. So I like base color, base color, shade, thick edge, thin edge, dot. When I shade, I almost always recess shade because it's just, I find it less time consuming for me personally, right? So I thin null oil, not straight out the pot, thin null oil, and keep running it in until I'm happy that the recess is dark enough. And once the recess is dark enough, if I've made a bit of a mess with the null oil, again, I could just neaten up with that Max Standard Grey because I haven't done a shitty edge highlight. Right, I then took my Dawnstone and did my thick edge highlight with Dawnstone, but keeping it very neat. And if you fuck up, guess what you do? Yep, we've covered that. And then the next stage will be an Administratum Grey thin highlight to highlight the highlight. And then I'll probably dot highlight with Eschen Grey on the very dots to make it really pop and shine. That's how I'm doing my grey. Luce looked so bored when I was talking through all that as well.
Can't watch live, but I'll catch up later. You've definitely become my fav watch now and really appreciate the 0 ads, so I'm showing support.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You'll love painting Crow. Yeah, I've got him somewhere to do. If I don't have other Space Wolf stuff through by the time I finish Ragnar, he's probably next on my list to paint, actually. But he'll be mostly hand painted because I don't want to airbrush Games Workshop silvers.
You were showing me pictures of the eyes.
People have done, both good and bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't paint eyes.
What do you do then if you don't paint the eyes?
It depends on the model, but most of them I feel like what you can do is you can just recess wash in and darken it down, and then if you paint the rest of the skin well enough, you don't need to paint the eye in at all.
I thought you just did like sunglasses on them.
Bah!
Just like nice big. Put some
Fucking
aviators on them.
Paint a pirate patch on one side.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Or like Geordie LaForge from Star Trek. There you go. I don't have to do the eyes. We've gotten creative.
Not Eshin Grey. You're right, not Eshin Grey. It's Ulthuan Grey is what I meant. So if you look at how small his eyes are on that box art, Ragnar box art, I don't think you need to paint them.
Yeah.
I think a recess shade, keep it dark, job's a good one.
Well, there's a scar, so
I just don't think you need to paint them.
Just do another.
And the other thing as well is when I look at things like that, I always think about the order I'm going to do it in. Right? I'm really fussy on order. So Games Workshop do a bunch of painting tutorials, and I fucking love and hate them. I love them because they give you some really nice recipes on how to paint some things, and they give you the color, shade, layer, highlight, right? The mid-tone, the shade, etc. I love all that kind of stuff. So if I can't think of a color, I can find a tutorial and be like, cool, that's the color I'm going for.
Yeah.
What paints have you used? Brilliant, that's fine. But what they'll do is they'll be like, so take this model, and you'll take the model, base coat it with blah, 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 and then paint all the armor, and they'll take you to do the armor, and they'll do this beautiful white armor. You do all that first. Great, cool, perfect. And you've done all of the edging and layering and fucking washing and all that kind of stuff and shading. And then like, now paint the next bit and be really careful not to get it on that white that you've already completed. I'm like, well, why did you complete the white first? Why wouldn't you put the solid colour of white on, not do all the washing and highlighting, and then paint all the other block colours? So if you do make a fuck up and you slip, guess what? You just have to put the white back on. Because you haven't gone too far then. You've done any of the shading and stuff like that. So I'm keen on order of operations to make it an easier way to finish the model entirely. Sometimes you have to get to the point where you start adding the edges, and when you move to the next bit, you could fuck it, but sometimes that's unavoidable. But I try and avoid it as much as possible. With the face, if I was doing eyes, I'm like, what do you do first? Do you paint the white eye and the black dot first? So that if you fuck it, you can just reset and do it again. But then you've got to paint the rest of the head, and if you slip with some wash or some paint, you've just fucked your eye. Or do you paint your whole face and all your skin tones and shades and gradients, and then go in at the very end after spending hours painting your head and go with your pupil? It's easy just to not paint the eye, innit? Let's be honest.
That's when the pirate patch comes in.
And no one's really going to know. So, I just don't do eyes. Day 4 of fighting with Google Pay over my identity because they think my real name is Bear, even though the account is linked to my legal name. Sigh. Not everyone at Google is intelligent. Let's just put it that way, right? Sat here painting eyes on my Outriders. Took 4 attempts, but I'm finally happy. Yeah, I just can't. I don't have the patience for that. I really don't have the patience for that. Anywho, is it time?
It's time.
Do you have one?
I do.
We have a fact. We got to 105 members, chat, so there's no dice giveaway. You were 45 away. Maybe next week. But it is the time of night where we're going to give you a loose fact. A fact that is loose. Or it might not be loose. It might be true. You have to decide whether it's true or false. Loose or loose. If it's true, you type it like her name. If it's false, you type it like a overused plastic carrier bag. There we go. Really loose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or a hooker's vagina.
I don't think that would be loose. I think that would just be battered.
Baggy.
Well, bags are baggy.
Anyway. Loose or loose, it's time. Your favourite time for loose fact.
A personal library can only be called a personal library if you have at least 1,000 books.
Why 1,000?
Looks good.
Why did you bring this one up? Is it because we're talking about books today?
Yeah, but also Reverend Chris put a picture in Discord that has some more books.
Love the channel and everything y'all do. Just curious, do you have any recommendations for good areas to move to into the UK that have good hobby support and are nice to live in?
I got about 20. So I'm only like 980 off. Could be 979 if you'd let me buy that book. Cubesteak, thank you for the $10. There. It's there are nice areas in the UK.
Horse shit.
Oh shit. There are nice areas. There are definitely nice areas in the UK if you're talking about scenery, location. Weather is a tough one, depending on where you're coming from in the US, because it's the UK. So you can have a 7 degrees rainy day in the middle of summer. It is in fact possible. Good hobby support and a nice to live in.
A pun walks into a room and kills 10 people. Pun in, 10 dead.
Thanks, Stu. You never failed to entertain a terrible, terrible joke. I'm also incredibly biased. So if nice places to live in the UK, Scottish Highlands are beautiful. There's some lovely areas in Scotland. Wales has got some stunning countryside. The Lake District has got some stunning countryside. They don't really come with great like hobby support though. I'm very biased because I live on the edge of a place called the New Forest in the South Coast. We get great weather because we're the South Coast. The New Forest is also beautiful. We've got nice cities nearby, or cities that have got nice big shopping centres, etc. And I'm about to open a hobby house in Southampton, which will be good for hobby support. In my experience, most of the great hobby support areas are not in great areas. So you can Element is great. Stockport is a shithole. So it's really difficult. The thing is as well, if you're coming from the UK, I'd also suggest that wherever you choose to live, actually everything's drivable for you. Because you lot all drive 4 hours to see a mate. So in that regard, there's quite a lot of support locally. So I'd look at the South Coast though, because I'm a fucking South Coast person, personally. Quote, that's a bold take and honestly kind of poetic. It sounds like you're channeling some old school bibliophile energy. So loose? Oh. Mr. Yeston hasn't even used AI. I always wait for his answer to see if he confirms or denies
There's
it.
a lot of big words in there, Yeston. I don't...
Hobby House can't wait. Definitely going to try and get all my stuff there. I'm definitely going to try and supply you all your stuff there. ! Hobby House.
And honestly, kind of poetic. What do you mean?
Is Hobby House going to be a physical store? Yes. We are literally right. Honestly, quick update because you 108 people have hung around until the end, right? Very quick update because Luce is yawning, and I want to make a cup of tea and go to bed. That's the mailing list you want to get yourselves on. We are at the point where the lease is agreed, finalised, ready to go. We just have to sign it. We can't sign it until we have opened a bank account. I've requested the bank account 2 and a bit weeks ago. I'm just waiting for the confirmation it's open. As soon as it's open, we can sign the lease and we can pay the deposit from the company's bank account. Right? So, honestly, we are fucking close to go time. Like, really close to go time. Like, I'm excited that we could sign the lease this month close to go time. And then I go from being busy to really fucking busy. But hopefully what that means is within a few months, we get to a point where we can soft open and we can soft sell people online product whilst we test the website to make sure it works and our processes work and we have the stock. And then hopefully we start to snowball into a reasonably sized, decent UK hobby business that could supply you with your plastic crack.
My girlfriend and I have the cutest nicknames for each other. She is my buttercup. I am her useless sack of shite.
Shite. She from Manchester. Shite in the song Shine. Right. There you go. There's a quick update for you, right? We are fucking so close to go time. There's a reason why I look so tired lately. Cool. Is Ragnar the first Space Wolf you have painted? Yes. Why, AJ? Right, anyway, it's 10 past. You people are amazing. Thank you so much for 105 gifted memberships tonight. You people are incredible. Thank you for hitting over 100 likes. And thank you for smashing out the super chats. Big shout out, actually, to Mandy, who's just fucking super chatted tonight. It's been good to see you, Mandy. Love you. Hope the pregnancy's going well. It is. Yeah, she had a scan. It is still pregnancy. I don't know when the due date is. I'm sure she told us. I don't remember what it is. I hope you're doing okay, though, because I know it can be a shit experience for some people. But I hope you're doing okay. Are you going to sell like clear zip tie bags for our crack of plastic? Yep. What I want to do is I want to offer. This is even possible. When you buy your product, I want to charge an additional £5 fee for a for a specially requested receipt.
Ah, I see. A lie.
£5 a lie seems like a good deal. So when your wife opens that box and there's an invoice piece of paper in there, you've opted for the £5 option that says it's 20 quid.
Or,
Those 6 boxes were total 20 quid.
Or it could be, congratulations, you won our lucky dip.
Yeah, yeah, that's the better option. £5 and we'll replace your invoice in your box with a congratulations, you're a prize winner paper.
Yeah. You entered this competition months ago.
Yeah, this cost you nothing. Don't look at the bank account.
Yeah.
There we go. Whitey55, thank you for the 1 gifted. You're a legend. Up to 106. You're a hero. There you go. £5. Certificate of achievement rather than receipt.
Freshly printed from clip art.
We fucking will be, yeah. How good would that be, though? How many people then start coming to hobby houses because like, look, babe. It's like, fuck me, you win every month.
This is the most generous company ever. We just give stuff away all the time.
Yeah, just £5. That's it. And you get congratulations, you're our prize winner. Big brain plays here, team. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Telling you. That's a fucking great idea. I need to talk to my web devs. I'm really going to make that work. Anyway, you people have been amazing. All week, you people have been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hope you've enjoyed the show. I've certainly enjoyed doing the shows this week, actually. We're back on Monday with another hobby show. There is also a football show on Sunday if you're into the football channel, but that's not for you, most of you people. We're back on Monday with a hobby show where I'll be continuing Ragnar. I'm at a point where I'm edge highlighting, so I probably won't do that on Monday. What I have done already is I've started the base coating of his robes with the airbrush and the base coating of his little wolf pelt that goes on his shoulder with the airbrush. So I'll probably start painting that on Monday and hang out with you wonderful people. Then the rest of the week, content is sort of normal, and I only say it's sort of normal because Tuesday we've got Meg and Zach in from the Hobby collab. I'm going to be hanging out with Meg on stream in the daytime, doing some hobbying, and then Zach is playing Joe in the evening for some AOS goodness, and I'll be producing that one, so you can hang out with us on Tuesday there, and we go back to normal Wednesday, the Warhammer show, a Liam and Joe show on Thursday, followed by a live game of 40k, and then Friday we'll be back here for more After Dark. And I might actually try and get some mead back in because I miss having some mead.
Didn't that company said they were going to send you some?
Yeah, I've now sent them an email and texted them twice with no response. So
Oh, I see.
I'll just order a bottle. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you people have a wonderful weekend. You're all amazing. Hopefully we'll see you back here on Monday. If not, we'll see you. Oh! Luce.
Thank God Schooner's here.
What would you like to say to the team?
Best chat.
Best chat! Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.